Hello and welcome back to the Game Bet Match podcast. I'm your host Manny Friedman, along with my co-host
Brad Sloan.
All right, let's get back into it. Back in the house, baby.
Up to 400 followers.
Yes, officially 400 followers just now. The 400th follower joined. So welcome on board, and it's amazing.
And I did look. Our pleads with the public to subscribe have been working. I think we're now up to 24 subscribers.
Wow. Okay. Terrific.
Or 23. We lost one. We got 2 likes on the latest pod. So it's progressing.
Nice. It's great.
That's not bad for a Stuttgart pod.
Yeah. I feel like there's been a lot of hype for these two tournaments. People are enjoying it.
Ironically, yeah, for 250s, yeah.
Yeah.
And for 250s, like without the best draws. Like the draws aren't bad, but they're not great. They're like kind of average 250 draws.
Well, the conversation for these 250s have been, I feel, way better than some of the other 250s. Maybe it's just like transitioning from the French Open, like everyone is kind of on the tennis high, and also like other sports have kind of died down. So, I mean, that being said, whatever the reasons are, we truly appreciate.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. All the Twitter chat is fun,
yeah.
And all the chat in general. So,
Brad and I have decided we're gonna do something a little bit different. We are going to post a game bet match official play each day, where it's like one or two plays that we both kind of agree on, and that's like what we're gonna track kind of going forward for the rest of the year, and like kind of post that on the Twitter. So it's like a play that we both really have like a lot of confidence in.
Yeah, we'll try to keep it to like 1 to 2 per day. It'll be kind of like our best bets, kind of like our combined best bet for the day, like 1 or 2 per pod, something like that.
Yeah. So I think otherwise it's just too much to keep track of, and it's like the spreadsheet, like we haven't been the best at updating it, and it's just
I'm gonna try to get back to I'm gonna try to do some of that because it's good just for me to track. Honestly, I like tracking my results and seeing how I'm doing. I know I got cleaned out during the clay, so at some point I have to face the music on that.
Yeah,
it was a bad clay season.
Yeah, I mean, life gets in the way sometimes, and it was just so many matches and stuff. It's really hard to keep up like fully, but I think that official play thing will be good for us, and like good for you guys to kind of see what we agree on and stuff. So
yeah,
we're gonna do that. So all right, let's get right into the two grass tournaments. So just some takeaways, I guess, from what we've seen so far. How much of it have you seen, Brad?
No, honestly, in terms of the tennis, I mean, obviously tracking it pretty hard, but I saw more today and a little bit yesterday because I was working from home. It's always tough when I'm in the office.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I guess we can start with the Bosch Open, which is a great. I love the fact that Bosch actually has a tournament, like with all their gear and everything.
Yeah.
Manny, thank you for talking off of Tsitsipas against Gasquet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm always up to talking out of Tsitsipas, like
yeah, because that was definitely a Tsitsipas did not. I'm amazed he lost to Gasquet. Like,
yeah,
I didn't think it'd be pretty. You and I both hit you hit the Gasquet set one money line. I hit the set one over. I know you did too, and that came through. But yeah, I'm amazed that Gasquet broke him multiple times in that match. That's actually what's more amazing to me than the fact that he even won is the fact that he broke him multiple times.
Fact that we even hit the set one over and the set one money line was a miracle, because like Tsitsipas was up 3-love in that match. He served first, so if
he served first and went up the early break, and then he got broken back. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And was up 3-love, so if he kept holding, if he held 3 more games, that would have been 6-3. We would have lost everything. Right. So Gasquet immediately broke back. Like, I feel like if that set was 4-1, we don't get there.
Yeah.
Especially with the set one money line. We may have gotten like a break back, but like that's a long way back to win that set. So that was a good call. And then like I just thought like he wouldn't have enough gas to get through it and win a second set. And he kind of gave the second set away, but he dug back in the third, which was cool to see.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, we talked about this before, right? Like underdogs do well on grass, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And especially in the best of 3 tourneys. And I think the reason for that is that grass is such an equalizer, man. Like you watch these tournaments, and like the points are so fast.
Yeah.
It's so hard to break serve. So like it really comes down to like pretty small differences most of the time. So like it's like I feel like clay is a much more true test of like who the better player is. And like it's really hard to win on clay if you're not the better player, especially off the ground. But if you're like, especially if you can serve well, you have a chance on grass if you serve well.
You do. You do. Yeah. No,
Um,
it's very true. It's very true.
and I mean, you see it, right? Like just the score sets in general are tighter.
right. A lot of 6-4s, a lot of 7-5s, a lot of tie breaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, I guess in the same tournament, Struff made the semis. I know you're excited about that. What Struff features did you have and do you have? I didn't have any, but I know some people out there did.
I had him to win the event at plus 500. Just I think I placed that after the first round because I actually faded him against Zhizhen Zhang. And then when I saw how well he played, that's when I backed him. So
that's unfortunate. Tsitsipas lost. Then for you and on that futures, that killed the price.
It is. It did kill the price. It did kill the price. I mean, just going back to Tsitsipas a little bit, like I don't know. I don't know if it's like the girlfriend that's really causing him to kind of not play that well. I don't know if it's a loss of focus or is it, like the vacation and coming in
This
late.
tournament I'm not worried about. Like I think this is the vacation. You were right. Apparently he was down in Miami.
He was,
which is what backed me off of it. Honestly, once you said that, I was like, this is scary and not a good idea. And I think it's just that. Like I think which tells me like this tournament wasn't a priority for him.
But
it was like get
he's
back.
Just not good at grass in general. Like
he's not. He's not.
Like, I feel like people think he should be because he has a good serve, he has a good attacking game, he's good at transitioning to the net. Like so, in principle, he should be good at it, but he really isn't. And that's what's puzzling about it. Like, he did lose to Kyrgios last year, which is no really shame on in grass, but like he got didn't he get straight setted by Tiafoe at one point at Wimbledon?
Yeah, I mean, like the thing that's hard about grass is like there's so little data, right? Like when we talk about this on the grass, like there's just so little data in general. But yeah,
I don't know. I think when he's rushed on that backhand side, like it actually
it's bad. Yeah,
it's really, really bad. Like he struggles with that on clay when he's not rushed, right?
No, I agree.
So
the backhand is worse, but like, and he doesn't have a slice really, so I think that hurts too. Like, if he had a slice, it'd be good. He'd be better on the grass too. So
exactly,
I'll buy your take there. Like, I mean, I think you kind of have to. We really kind of look and see like what's the best he's done. He did win Mallorca last year. But he beat Agut, Bonzai, Yaron, and Ivashka. What?
That's an easy ass draw. I mean, like I'm not.
Well, it's also like not that. It's that's not a great tournament. It's a pretty mediocre 250.
Right.
It's the week before Wimbledon, right? So like it's a pretty it's a pretty mediocre 250. Outside of that, like the best he's ever done is made a quarter in Queens Club, quarter in Stuttgart. Like it's not great. So yeah, I mean. Not impressive at Wimbledon. The best he's done is last year when he made the third. No, I guess he made a fourth rounder, but like he's never had a big win at Wimbledon. So yeah, I'll buy your take that like, and I agree. Like I think the backhand hurts him on the like the fact that he's not a good like. We talk about how like he doesn't like the. I think the quicker surfaces. It also just might be like the grass in general. He just doesn't like the grass because like. It is a different surface, right? Like we talk about like, oh, it's a quick court because he does pretty well on quick hard courts. But
at least it's a true bounce, right? And he can like kind of gauge where the ball is going. Whereas on grass, like that backhand is just such a liability, man.
Well, also like just moving on grass is different, right? Like it's not as different as like moving on clay is, but moving on grass, I would argue, is different too.
I think it's more the backhand and the return, which are the most problematic for him on grass.
Let's see something.
Like
here.
if he played Struff, don't you think Struff should be the favorite there? He probably wouldn't, which would make me want to hammer Struff, right? But like he struggles with Struff on clay. You put it on a grass court, with a little bit of altitude, which there is in Stuttgart. I think it's 700 feet. Like, I mean, I don't know. I would actually favor him. if they played.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I definitely wouldn't think. I don't think there's much of a gap. I think it's pretty close to a pick 'em.
It is, yeah, probably. And the books would probably be forced to give Tsitsipas an edge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Although ironically, like, and it's not a whole lot of match data, but according to Tennis Abstract, like Tsitsipas has won an above average percentage of return points last 52 weeks on grass. So like that lends you to think his defensive game is like okay-ish, like okay, like not amazing, but okay. Ironically, like I don't know, he's been like he's I think he's like I don't know, he's probably like top 20 to top 30 in the world on grass, maybe. But that's a far cry from where he's on any other surface.
Well, the thing with Tsitsipas, the reason why he is ranked where he is, and we always say he's a lock for the ATP Tour Finals, is because mentally and physically he's strong, right? He doesn't really give in either way, right?
Yeah.
But he has holes, right?
Yeah.
So, like I feel like those stats are a testament to his like mental and physical toughness that he never really gives in the match, more so than like what he's bad at or good at,
Yeah.
Like I feel like eye test says a lot when you're watching a Tsitsipas match, just because of his like blatant weaknesses.
Yeah, but I also think he does a decent job of working around them, right? Like we've had this conversation, but we've kind of had the same conversation about Tsitsipas. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, look, he still does pretty well as a player, right? He still is in the top 8 every year. So like, he made the finals of the Australian Open, so it's hard to bash him too much.
Yeah. It is. It is. It's just, I feel like where he's been ranked, we just judge him at a higher standard, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like he hasn't really improved his weaknesses. Like I thought in Australia, like I saw improvements with the backhand, right? And with the defense, but then it like regressed again.
Yeah.
So all right, that's enough
Probably enough on Tsitsipas. Struff we just discussed. Just kind of going through.
He's been
Hubie. We hit the Hubie overs in the Latnuki match to perfection. But the Hubie over button didn't work today.
Absolute perfection. It was amazing.
But the Hubie over button didn't work today.
It did not, and I think.
But I think it's worth caveating. It definitely looked like not McConnell. O'Connell was injured. He was icing his knee at every changeover. He saw a trainer, I think, last match.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was like that's not impacting my thoughts on Hubie.
No.
And O'Connell, if you saw like O'Connell, I didn't think O'Connell played. I actually did watch a little bit of that match. I didn't think O'Connell played particularly well. Although I never think anybody plays particularly well against Hubie.
Well, I mean, in the second set, it felt like Hubie had love 30 on every O'Connell service game, and then O'Connell like fought back, and then I think it was like a 4-2 game, or it was like the 3-4 game where he held for 4-all. Hubie had like 2 break points. He missed a backhand by like half an inch.
Yeah.
And like O'Connell just barely squeaked by. And then I was like, oh, this is good. This, this is where O'Connell kind of changes the momentum. And then the next game that O'Connell served, he got broken. So
yeah,
it just
sad because we both had O'Connell futures. We both had pretty big O'Connell futures out there. I had the tournament at 33-1.
I know. I mean, I had O'Connell over 12.5 as well at plus money. I had the over. I think I got it over 23. I believe. What was the line you got?
Yeah, I got 23. I got either 22.5 or 23, somewhere in there. Okay. Like I needed a tie break.
Yeah, I did tell Cajun Vegas that if the match didn't go over, I would do some push-ups. I'm not gonna do it on the pod itself. But I certainly will do my push-ups.
You're not gonna. You gotta film it and put it on the Twitter.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That was probably a risky call. So I lost money and have to do push-ups. That's my penalty for missing that match.
Your penance.
Yeah. Jeez. It's funny,
Yeah.
funny stuff though.
Yeah, but that was disappointing both. But I
It
don't
was
feel like
disappointing.
it was probably a stupid bet to hit that match, knowing that both especially O'Connell, but both had gone to see the trainer. So it was probably dangerous to hit that, just not knowing the health.
Probably.
And that's probably the learning there is like I just got too excited with the Hubie over button, and you got to be really careful with guys who are hurt, because you don't know how hurt a guy is when he's hurt, and like you don't know how much that's going to impact the match.
Right. I mean, we nearly got there, right? Like if O'Connell holds 2 more times, like
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
always true on
That's
grass,
just,
though, right? Like and you could argue there were so many opportunities but there were a lot of opportunities breaks both ways in that match. Like I was really surprised at how like Huey didn't serve that well either. He served decent. 16 aces, no doubles. He served decent, but like, actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. It's O'Connell. Yeah, O'Connell won 12 points on return the whole match. That's not good. For some reason, I thought O'Connell did better, but he didn't.
He got a love 30 here and there, but like, yeah,
He did seem to group his points together fairly well in the beginning of the game, but then never broke.
right.
But yeah, I mean, he didn't like.
Did he have
He
any
didn't get a
break
single
points in
break
the
point
game?
the whole
Just a
match.
single break point, yeah. I mean,
Like
he was
Huey
outplayed,
won
and then
40% of points on return, which is a huge number on grass for
it
Huey.
is. It is.
Like that's amazing for Huey on grass.
So the problem with Hubie is like, I mean, obviously this match was kind of different where he was successful on return, but a lot of times like he gets to break point and then just struggles to convert. Do you have a tennis abstract like Hubie Hurkacz percentage of break points?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that. I was curious as to I was curious on that because like I wanted to see like if that's really like a real thing. I'm trying to see if I can find a breakpoints here stat. Give me a minute. All right, I found one.
I guess
breakpoint conversion percentage. Hubie. So he's last. He's 50th out of the top 50 ATP players in breakpoint conversion.
Right.
That said, he's also a terrible returner, and he does. I think he does. He converts 33% of breakpoints. He's at 33% of breakpoints converted for the year, but he's at 34% of return points won for the past 52 weeks.
It's pretty low.
But my point is like I don't think it's so much that like Hubie's like not clutch on breakpoint. He's just bad at returning. Not bad returning. He's just bad. Like he's just like not aggressive enough to win a high percentage of points.
Yeah.
Right. Like you can't really win on the ATP tour like by pushing. Like there's really you know what I mean? Like there's not a whole lot of ATP. Like you look at the top guys on the ATP tour, like none of them are like pushers the way that Hubie is on return games.
I mean, it's weird because like he's a decent mover. It's just like I feel like he doesn't. He's like caught in between where like he doesn't know whether to be aggressive or just like push the ball, and like that indecision like is kind of hurting him. Like it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I also wonder if it's just like his forehand and backhand just aren't that like his ground strokes just aren't that good, and he survives because he's got a big serve. You know, survive and push forward.
His backhand is actually solid. His forehand is the liability. Or maybe his forehand is more error prone, right? And his backhand.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, his backhand is very solid, but I wouldn't consider it like an amazing stroke. Like he makes a lot of backhands in the court, but like you just don't see him do much with the ball in general, right? Like we talked about before with Hubie, but like it's also weird because like he's really good at the net. He moves well. He's good at the net. Like
pretty good, yeah. And he's actually a really good trick shotter. Like
he is a really good trick. Yeah, he's really good.
He is.
I think maybe that hurts him. Like maybe it's almost like, hey, I know I can scramble, so like I'm not afraid to scramble. Where he'd be like better off doing more scrambling,
maybe,
or doing less scrambling, and like he'd be better off playing more aggressive and like using his net game and like I don't know. Like I think it like as an opponent, like I'm thrilled that like the less chances Hubie takes, like the better that is for me. I feel like as the opponent because like against the guy with a big serve like that, like I'd be terrified if Hubie was like when I play guys for like just speaking, not that we play anywhere near that level, but when I play guys who are big servers, like if they're also guys who smack returns, like I'm terrified because like if they make 2 or 3 like amazing lucky returns, Now,
Right.
like it's love 30 or 15-30. Now I know it's gonna be hard
The
to
match
break
is out of your
serves. I need to
hands.
hold.
The match is out of your hands.
Right, but like if I know that like okay, this guy's gonna at least play rallies with me on serve, and like I know I can like, you know, at least in my service games, I have a little more control and can like run around and like control my own service game. Like I feel a little bit better. I feel like at least I have a chance rather than like I'm just at like the mercy of luck, you know.
Right. Yeah,
But that's my
it's a
thoughts on
weird.
Hubie.
It's weird because like he's like a 6'5" guy with a problem. I think one of the better serves on tour, probably a top 5 serve. And like he plays like he plays from the baseline like he's Diego Schwartzman.
Oh no, he's not nearly as attacking as Diego Schwartzman is.
Well, yeah, that
But he plays like Emer or somebody from the baseline, to be honest.
right. Yeah, exactly. Michael Emer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like it's bizarre. It really is. But I
Yeah.
actually think, I mean, I posted this on the Twitter. I think he's underratedly mentally tough. And I think he
He
doesn't
does
get,
seem to win a high percentage of these matches. Yeah, I mean, he seems to do really well in
like
these
he's
close
still in
matches.
the top 10 doing this consistently, you know, playing deep into the third set almost all the time. You know, and it's I don't know, it's kind of impressive. Like, and then losing
Well,
a
here's
fifth
a
set doesn't
fascinating
bother him.
stat. Here's the stat for you. Oh no, that's
Yeah.
miss up. Yeah. Well, here's an interesting stat. So Hubie in tiebreaks is only 24-30 in the past year. He doesn't do nearly as
He
well in
loses
tiebreaks as you
some.
think.
He loses some.
I mean, he loses more than he wins,
Right.
which is kind of amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a testament to his mental toughness. Honestly.
They're just able to figure out how to win matches.
Kind of. And then like not get down after losing a tight first set like he did against Watnuki.
Well, he's very emotionless on the court. He's one of the most emotionless players I think in the game.
Probably. I mean, he's just apologizing to his opponent, I feel, like half the time. Like he's like the nicest guy, right? He's just there pushing the ball around, and like if he makes an error, or if he hits a nice winner, he just
look, maybe that's why he plays his style. Like maybe he just wants to have a nice friendly hit with his opponents, and like they keep trying to play sets, and he's like, "What is this? Like I want to just have a nice friendly hit."
I mean, I guess that's why I'm not betting him tomorrow. I guess I don't know.
I don't know, man. The Hubie over button is pretty good usually. It failed last time. We'll take a
loss,
failure.
but yeah, I'll just pay for it with some push-ups. But
yeah,
okay. Well, we'll talk more about the Hubie Struff match. I'm very interested what your take is on that.
Yeah. Tiafoe. That I called the Tiafoe futures, the quarter futures at plus 120.
That was a good call.
It cashed. I think it was a good call in retrospect. Like I didn't think like Lehecka would give him trouble. I understand style wise, but Lehecka's just not been good.
No.
So I thought Tiafoe would win that, and then
yeah.
He should beat Musetti on grass. That was a really close match for 2 sets.
I thought the Tiafoe Lechka match was the line was accurately set, right? So it was hard to bet that. And then
so it's funny. I hit it at Tiafoe -3, and it pushed.
You did really interesting.
It pushed. I mean, I hit Tiafoe -3 and it pushed. So like it wasn't. So you're right. It was perfectly set. Like
yeah. I would probably lean Lechka plus 3.5, but it's just like it's tough because he hasn't been good. But what I'm thinking is Lechka might actually prefer quicker surfaces than
he
clay.
certainly has the power for it, right? Like
he does, but he's more like he likes taking matters in his own hands, and I feel like that doesn't really suit clay as much. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm starting to think like we thought that he was a clay court player because like last year when he was kind of coming, rising through the Challenger Tour and stuff, he's playing mainly on clay, right? But like now I'm starting to think like he actually prefers faster surfaces.
Maybe. Although look, I'm not that impressed by beating Yaron in 3 sets and losing to Tiafoe in 2 sets either, right? Like
fair.
Like grass court scores are generally close. So like 3 games isn't that close on grass. It's not like it's not nearly as close as 3 games is on clay.
True. Good point. But Tiafoe, I mean, I posted this on the Twitter. Like, I wouldn't classify him as a clown, but I
He's
was
gotten a lot better with that. Like he used
a
to be a
lot better, but he
clown.
still has a tendency to just throw away games for
Manny,
no
we're 100%
reason.
the same page. I 100% agree with you. I'm just saying, like, he's made a lot. I think he's made a lot of progress from 3 years ago,
Okay.
3 years ago.
I mean
You know what I mean?
that's
Like,
true. Yeah, I mean his ranking shows that too, right?
but I even think like men's like he clowns less than he used to, but he still sometimes clowns. Like he used to be close to like Bublik level territory of clowning.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like now it's better, but I agree. There still is a he's not like the most he's not Hubie.
No, he's not Hubie. I mean,
And,
that's why also, I mean, I actually feel he has the talent to be ranked higher than Hubie, right? But
oh,
like,
100%. That's why we agree. I'm making an extreme statement there, but like I'm saying
yeah,
like he's like I'm saying Tiafo like Tiafo is not like this. Like he doesn't have the mental lockdown always, right? That's why he
no.
sometimes he sometimes struggles and doesn't like he should do better than he does still.
I mean, that match with Musetti shouldn't have been 3 sets. Like he was up a break serving for the match at I think both 5-4 and 6-5 he was serving for the match. Got broken both times.
Yeah,
Um,
it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing that he got broken 3 times on a grass court
Yeah,
by
and
Musetti.
that's all because he was kind of clowning around, losing focus, and like he was kind
Yeah.
of lucky to get through that because Musetti was actually he was sleepwalking through that second set, whereas like he's really supposed to pounce there because like you felt like I watched that match just based on how it was going, like you could sense a little bit of disappointment with Tiafoe because he served for the first set twice. So like
Yeah.
if Musetti was a strong match player, he would kind of raise his intensity early in that second set, fight hard to get that break, and then coast the rest of the way and win a 6-3 set. Instead, Musetti started clowning, made some errors. It got to a tiebreak. Tiafoe turned the momentum around, and he's the better player on grass, right? So he's going to
I just
just.
don't know if Musetti's that good on grass. Like,
I mean, I faded him the first 2 matches against both Borna Goyo and Barrere. And
and he won. Yeah.
he was quite impressive, honestly. So
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
and
That's
I thought
true.
that the gap with Tiafoe, like he was plus 185, I think, against Tiafoe. And I was like, I don't think it's that far away. Like
Yeah.
I don't regret the bet because it was 2 tie breaks. Like he could have won that easily. But it's just I don't know. Like Tiafoe betting him like to win straight sets or lay games against Tiafoe just scares the hell out of me. Just because of that fact that he has that like clowning tendency, right? Even though he does it less than he did a couple of years ago, he still does it,
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll talk more about his match against Fucsovics, but what do you
Yep.
think about that Fucsovics Fritz match today? Are
I
you
didn't see
disappointed in
much of it to be
Fritz?
honest. But yeah, I mean, look, he beat Fritz. Like that's a good win, right? Like
Yeah, it's a
it's
good
a good
one.
win. I mean, it's funny, man. Fritz was somebody who like, I think people are like waiting for him to show like that he can be that guy on grass. I actually think this is like could be a good loss for Fritz and could be a good loss for us as betters. Because I feel like he's somebody I'd like to bet at Wimbledon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that like a loss to Fucsovics might bring his price down a little bit. Or like at least he didn't win the tournament because I think if he won a tournament, that would bring his price up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm hoping to get him at like, and we'll see what his draw is, right? It always depends on his draw, but like
Right.
if he gets the right draw, maybe like somewhere between 5 and 10 to 1 to win a quarter, I think would be a nice price.
Okay. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I'm disappointed in this win because I had him at minus 115 to win the quarter, and I had him at plus 500 to win the event. Right. So
Yeah, I also had the Fritz quarter futures. I tailed you on that.
yeah.
I just thought like Karatsev, he shouldn't lose to, and he shouldn't lose to Yibing Wu or Fucsovics. It's just what he did.
I mean, I agree with you on what you said there. I think this is going to bring his price down. So like I don't feel like we really lost, right? Just because we're going to get more value on him. But like that being said, he did make a quarter at Wimbledon, but that was a really weak draw last year, right? Without the Russians, like without a lot of people playing.
Yeah.
And I feel we have to remember Fritz has that slam problem. Like he hasn't made a deep run yet. Like he prefers best of 3 over best of 5.
But I don't feel like he's like unfit. It's kind of weird that he struggles in slams. I don't feel like he's unfit,
Yeah. I don't think fitness is the problem. I think it's just mental.
Yeah, like he gets too nervous or something.
Nervous. I don't think he has some concentration lapse, which you don't necessarily see. It's not like a Tiafo concentration lapse where he starts clowning. It's more like a concentration lapse of like shot selection. And with Fritz, like shot selection is so well. I mean, I guess Tiafo is more shot selection. I guess Fritz is more like intensity based. That's
Yeah,
what I want to say.
maybe.
Because like with Fritz, if he lowers his intensity 5%, it shows more than most players because like he only plays one way.
That's true. That'll give you. But like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm looking at like, it is kind of amazing. Like I don't know. It's this year so far in the slams, he lost that match to Popyrin, which I thought Poppy played really well, and then Cerundolo. So, but like, I get what you're saying because like he also got beat by Holt last year at the U.S. Open. So it's
right.
Yeah,
Who did
it's
he
hard to
lose
say.
to in Australia in the year before in 2022?
Oh, I mean, he was not somebody who you'd want to lose to.
Yeah.
Oh no, Tsitsipas. He lost to Tsitsipas. That's not terrible.
Tsitsipas? Was it
Yeah.
like a beatdown or I don't remember that match?
Well, no, 5 sets.
5 sets. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay. All right. But then again, backing him as a favorite versus an underdog is different.
Well, I think that's more what it is. But like, yeah.
Like,
it's funny that I automatically said not somebody you'd want to lose to, and then it turns out it's Tsitsipas, which isn't a bad loss at all.
yeah, it's not bad. But as an underdog, it's different for him, especially,
I think so. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I guess moving on. So that's kind of my take on the Boss Open so far.
okay.
Now we will get over to the Bosch. I don't know, Den Bosch, I think is what we call it, right?
Den Bosch, yeah, that's what they call it. Den Bosch.
So disappointed that the Manarino futures failed to cash. Man. You and I both had that 850 to win the quarter.
God damn it! I was so pissed with that. The O'Connell one, okay, a little injured. I'll give you that, right? He played.
And when he took the first set from Thompson, I was like, oh, this is good. Like this is done. Like, this is done and dusted. Like nine units in the bank account. Happy days. And then nope.
And then especially he beat Medvedev in the previous round, right? Like I didn't expect this to still be alive today. Yeah. I mean, he was so good to us yesterday, and then today he just completely fucked us. Like Jordan Thompson, really, I love fading Jordan Thompson. Like I don't know, something about Jordan Thompson just pisses me off. I don't know if it's that ugly goatee of his, with like looking like Mario.
Is he more Mario or Luigi?
Maybe a little Luigi. Whoever he is, it's just I can't stand the guy. And then he's also like mentally, starts complaining and bitching after easy misses and stuff. Like I feel like he didn't have the mental edge either in this matchup, and he still fucked it up for us.
I will say you did hit the Thompson line against Raonic, right? I thought that was like that's
a no-brainer.
I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, and we got that at plus money too.
Yeah, which is amazing because the fact that Raonic beat Kecmanovic is embarrassing for Kecmanovic. It's not impressive for Raonic.
No, it's not.
I
mean, the match point 9 guys were on that too.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of bettors were on that.
Yeah. Rinky is in the semis of an ATP tournament. I did not think I would see the day. So my first interaction with Rinky was back in one of the pre-tournaments of the pre-Australian terms. I don't remember which one, but he won a set from Chapo, and he covered, and I was so happy. And I was look at this goofball Rinky, but that's what he is. He's a goofy player. He's just not, but I'm amazed he made the semis.
So something has to be said about the Australians liking grass. Like they actually grew up on the surface, right? Like,
Yeah.
have a lot of grass
Yeah.
courts there. So I think that that's part of it here. Like Rinky, I mean, he's a solid player, right? I don't know.
I don't know if I would call him solid. Like compared to what? Solid compared to what? Like his game style is solid.
He's just like an all quarter kind of player, right? Like I said, that's how I would classify him.
I don't know. I don't think of him as like a clay guy. I think of him as like a
None of the Aussies are, right?
yeah. Like I think of him as like a quicker court player because I think he needs that. Like I think he needs that help to get the ball through the court because he's a little bit underpowered.
Yeah. I mean, so I actually think he plays similar to Mackey, to be honest. He just played at a higher level today.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Right?
I don't think
Like
they're
they're
that different.
similar players.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So I mean 3-1 is embarrassing. I didn't post this on the Twitter, but like last minute I bet Mackey over 12.5. That was a painful loss.
That's really painful. That's to win a 7-5 first set, to get a 7-game first set, and then not get over 12.5
so bad.
on grass.
On
That's
grass?
incredible.
On
That's
grass,
incredible.
I was just like, you got to be kidding me.
Like you had what, 2 or 3 breaks to play with there? Like that's incredible.
I know.
That's sad. I'm sorry, man.
It's so bad. This is a horrible loss. But and then you add the Monterino loss right after that. It was just it was a really painful start to the day. Yesterday I had an amazing day, which I gloated on Twitter about.
Yeah, and then you paid for it today.
I did. I paid for it. I never have 2 good days in a row. Have you ever had 2 like amazing days in a row?
I don't think so. I'm still waiting for that time when you have
Yeah.
It seems like what goes up must come down in this game.
It's terrible.
How
about Greek Sport Demon? Or I know you hit the over.
Yeah, and I did watch this match today.
Okay. I didn't. So
yeah, I mean Greek Sport. What?
I did not watch any of it. So
I mean Greek Sport. Like I don't know, man. Like Demon Or is just he's Demon Or. Like he does pretty well on grass, generally speaking, but like the racket's never in his hands, or the match is never in his hands. Like you know that about him, just like that's like standard Demon Or commentary. But like, he's just not like yeah. I thought Greek Sport was in real trouble after the first set, but then like he got 1 break in each of the second and third sets, and like there was nothing Demon Or could do. Once he got broken, that was it.
He's just reacting to what's coming to him, right? He's
like if the guy plays well, if the guy serves well and plays well and is hitting well, there's nothing he can do.
Right.
And actually, I do think like I'm surprised he does as well as he does on grass, because like I get that it helps him a little bit hitting through the court a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But like I would think his best attribute would be like wearing guys down, to be honest.
I mean, he's had some good results on clay too, right? Like that Barcelona run where he had match point on Alcaraz. Like
true. Yeah, I guess he's more of like an all quarter. I guess he's more of an all quarter, huh?
All quarter. It's just more his like tenacity and just like always being there and fighting and like that kind of stuff that helps him, right? It's not necessarily his game. Because there's nothing special about his game, right?
He hits an ATP level ball.
Okay. But like he's
actually he's really quick. He's really, really damn quick.
Yeah. He's fast.
That is what's special about his game, is there's almost no, and he moves really well, he anticipates really well. That his speed around the court is what's special about his game.
Right. But his shot making, there's nothing special about that, right?
No. Hits an ATP level ball.
Yeah.
Doesn't miss a whole lot, like.
Yeah.
But he really struggles to like play offense too.
He does, and if someone takes the racket out of his hand and is initiating play, like it's hard. It's also hard for him to transition from defense to offense because he doesn't hit big, right? So he can't like transition from a defensive position to even a neutral position with 1 big ball, because he can't even hit big balls from a neutral position.
Yeah.
So that's where it's problematic for him. I thought the over was a good play here. I preferred the Grigspor money line at plus money. Just also because the fact that it's in Holland, I thought that the home crowd makes a difference here
Yeah.
slightly. I was surprised to get plus 140. I thought it was a pick.
So I also like I think that was a good hit. I was gonna mention that to you. Like I thought that was a good. I think I did mention it on Twitter. Like that was on our chat. Like that was a good hit. Like I also was a fan of that play. Like I thought the line was too far in Demon North's favor. I just preferred the over more because I thought it was a close matchup. But I think the over under here was 22.5.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, you hit it. So we both hit, right? So
we both hit. Yeah. You made a little more cash, but we both hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
oddly enough, Grigspor hasn't played a tiebreak yet in this tournament, which I think is weird. Like I would have thought he'd be more of a tiebreak guy.
Interesting. Well, honestly, I think tomorrow's semifinal between Grigspor and Ruusuvuori is the final because I think whoever wins that beats either Rinky or Thompson.
So I have a futures on this for the bottom half at minus 115, which is amazing right now.
It's amazing.
Like that like if I wanted to, I could hedge that and make it a couple tenths of a unit. But yeah.
Yeah.
I
guess
like it should be, although I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like on grass, like I think Thompson could win on grass against either of these guys. I don't know if Rinky can. I think Thompson. I'm not saying he should be a favorite. I'm not saying he should be picked. Saying I think he's got like a 1 out of 3 to 1 out of 4 chance.
Okay. But what does Thompson do well?
His serve is pretty good.
It's an average serve. It's nothing special.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got like a decent attacking game. He's got like decent.
His forehand is actually a liability. I think his backhand is solid, but his forehand isn't that great. Like he chips a lot of forehands back. I don't know. There's nothing about Thompson which like catches my eye, which is like he's a guy I often fade, to be honest. And I don't think he's
I think on grass though he's decent. Like on grass he's used to the surface. Like on grass he plays decent.
Okay. All right. Like I have no idea how to play that Rinky Jordan Thompson match. Which we'll get into, but
yeah.
That's the hardest match for me to kind of pick apart.
Yeah.
So what about Ruusuvuori Sinner? I mean, Sinner.
I didn't see that match, but good on Ruusuvuori for me. Man, I'm so pissed. I got like every match here wrong, with the exception of I got Humbert over 12.5 barely against Ruusuvuori. But everything else here I got wrong. Like I had Bublik to do something against Sinner. He didn't.
Me too. I had that.
I didn't bet the Sinner Ruusuvuori. I thought those lines were actually pretty well set. So yeah, I
got Monterino right.
Yeah, but that was in the top half. I did pretty good in the top half. But I got Thompson, Manarino on day one. You know what I mean? So I did pretty well in the top half. And I
had the Grigspor Popperin over, right? Well, that was top half too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had Huesler money line against Rinky as well. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, so what are your takes on Sinner now? I mean, like this is a bad loss for him to lose 3 and 4 and not even win.
I'm not that worried about it. I'm like, anytime you have like these weird 250 transition tournaments, I take them with more of a grain of salt. I will say, like, he's not playing. Like, I don't know. He still is really good, right? Like, if anything, I'd be more worried about the loss to Altmaier still.
Well, the fact that he's, like we've always talked about Sinner and like he's beating up on these lower ranked guys easily. And I feel like he's not.
Yeah, it's weird for him to lose to Ruusuvuori. That's weird. That it's a weird loss. Again, I'm not like.
But Ruusuvuori is talented. He's a good ball striker. If he's not missing, he can trouble anyone in the world. We saw that against Alcaraz in Madrid.
We've seen it multiple times. Yeah, I mean, no, I think Ruusuvuori. I think Ruusuvuori is a good player when he's playing well. Like that's why he's one of my favorite under guys. It's because he's capable of really good tennis.
You would have hit the under here, which is crazy.
What? He's capable of really bad tennis as well.
Yeah, that is a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sinner. I feel like yeah, he's lacking confidence right now. You know, like the loss to Altmaier, like this loss, like it's gonna play with his mind. You know, he's
Maybe I don't. The one to Altmaier is I think worse than this one by
it's worse.
quite a
Yeah,
distance.
I
Like,
get that.
and like he did beat Bublik for him too.
Yeah, but
Again, it's Bublik, but like I don't know.
I think the Sinner being one dimensional and like kind of not really having a plan B is really kind of hurting him again, you know, where he
I
doesn't
don't know,
really know
man.
where to change gears and like I don't know, maybe he also doesn't trust his physicality, so he doesn't want to go like deep into, you know, a third set here. I don't know, but to lose 3 and 4 is bad. Like if this was like you know 7-5 in the third, I get it.
Yeah. Again, I'm like I don't know, man. It's a
But
weird tournament. Like,
you want to see how he does in Halle or Queens?
yeah, but I'm watching him now. You know what I mean? I guess I'm not like he's gone to my watch list of like, you know, but the
Mhm.
problem is like, you know, your take is probably like if you want to fade him, now's the spot to fade him. Because if he loses one or two more, the book will start to fade him too. So like if you want to fade him, now's the time. I probably will sit that fade out,
Okay.
but it's
Okay.
yeah.
Because I'm really starting to think about it because like what were his other good grass court results besides
The
the
Wimby run last
tournaments?
year?
Yeah, the Wimbledon
Yeah,
run.
there's not much. I mean, that's the
Not
interesting
much.
thing. I don't think. I mean, yeah, there's really nothing. There's really nothing. But to be fair, again, like there's no so Sinner for his career on grass is 7-8, and he's 5-5 since 21 when he was like a real mainstay on the ATP tour. Like so, he's 5-5 in 3 years, so it's like hard to judge much, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, like I get it. Like he like literally the win in Wimbledon last year was his first main draw win in an ATP level tournament on grass.
Mhm.
But again, like there's just so little data on grass. It's just what sucks in general. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like compared versus clay or hard.
Well, the Match Point 9 guys pointed this out. They thought that the win against the Greek sport win against Demonor was more impressive than the Rusevori win against Sinner. And not because Sinner is a worse tennis player, it's because like Demonor has a better track record on grass and he has a higher actually grass elo rating than Sinner.
Fine. I'll go back to what I said before. Like there's such little. I don't know how much I trust grass elos because there's
Okay.
so little
A
data.
little data. Okay, it's
Yeah.
fair. Fair.
But like I guess I hear the counterpoint, right? Like I guess the counterpoint is like it's like so this is like where the eye test matters so much more is because there is such little data. There's so few data points to look at with grass. It's just like you
Mhm.
really have it's a little different in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Any
Yeah.
other takes, Manny, from either of the two tournaments? Because I think I'm all out of takes, all out of aces
Yeah,
there.
me too. I mean, it's been actually a lot of fun. I have to say, you know, in the past, I've always preferred watching like clay court and hardcore tennis, but like just with, I don't know, like these kind of quick points and
It's different. It's like
adjustments.
more suspense. It's
Yeah,
like more suspense when like something happens because
right,
like if a guy gets a break, he might not get it back. Or he
right.
probably won't get it back. So there's like more suspense when there's break points. You're like terrified, but it's also like I don't know. I don't find the actual tennis points as fun.
I've seen actually good amount of longer points. Like I thought that Manarino Medvedev match was quite entertaining, to be honest, just from like a viewing standpoint. I don't know how much of it you saw,
I didn't see much of it,
but
but
I
yeah,
saw the
no, I
second
mean like
set and
look, like I think it's
I thought it was
overrated.
fun
Like
to watch.
these guys have definitely learned how to like rally on the grass. It's not like it was 15,
Yeah,
20 years ago. And the technology's so much better. I'll agree with you
right.
there. But it still is very different. I'm still a bigger fan
It's
of
different.
Clay.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's fine to have him for 6 weeks. I mean, look, the
yeah.
reality is in a month we'll be done with it. It's such a fast season. So
Right, right.
I mean, there's literally this week, Queens,
Halle
Mallorca.
and Mallorca and then Wimbledon qualies and
Well, that's not. But that's not. There's
Horn.
4 weeks. There's this. There's Queens and Halle next week. the 500s. Then you go back to Mallorca, and then you've got your
Mallorca and Eastbourne.
What? Oh
There's
yeah, well, but
Eastbourne.
it's the same week.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 5-week grass season.
Right, right. So we'll take it, and we'll take the tie breaks and the potentials for overs and all that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So
it is funny to see your like overs go up to 24 now in like every match.
it is. It is. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the semis. You want to go back to Stuttgart?
Yeah, we can go back to Stuttgart. Stuttgart.
So the first semi is wow.
Struff and her catch.
Schedule's a little weird. You got one semi, you got the doubles in between, and then you got another semi. So Tiafoe and Fušović.
Oh, we'll start there.
Okay. Let's go to Bovada here. Pull up the lines. Yeah, these matches will be fun to discuss because like I have pretty clear takes on them, except probably the Rinky Thompson match. Stuttgart here. All right, so Tiafoe here is a 1.5 game favorite, minus 155, and the over-under is 23. What's your play here, or what's your thought?
So I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Tiafoe money line.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think it's like I don't know, man. Like Fušović just like he's good enough to get close. But is he really good enough to win? Like I think the play here that I haven't seen, I saw this was like I wanted to go Tiafoe over 12.5. That was minus 150, so the price was kind of crap. But I guess that's my debate is like, do I want to go Tiafoe over 12.5 at minus 150? Or do I want to go Tiafoe money line at minus 155? Or do I go Tiafoe or do I go Tiafoe 2-0 at plus? I think that's a small plus. It might be like plus 150. I can't remember. What is the Tiafoe 2-0 line?
Plus 155.
Yeah, so it's so I got that's my debate is between those three lines. But I'm definitely pro Tiafoe here. I think that a couple of things on Fušović. First, like Fušović has played a lot of tennis this week, right? He came out of the qualies and he played 2 3-setters. And then he played a 2-setter. He's fit and like
grass court is not
worried about that piece of it, but like that's one point. I just think I don't know, man. Like is Fušović really like that good of a tennis player? And I think my answer is no.
Yeah, but he's solid and he's going to take advantage of any like, showboating lapses that Tiafoe has to offer. Right?
But is that good enough to win this? Like, is that good enough that Tiafoe doesn't win this match more than 60% of the time?
No, I think Tiafoe is going to win this match. I just don't like. I don't have that much confidence in him. I didn't like what I saw against Musetti, like with just kind of giving away breaks to when you're serving for a set. I actually think Fušović is slightly better than Musetti on grass. Like Fušović made a 4th round of Wimbledon. I actually think grass is probably Fušovic's best surface, to be honest. I personally like the 3-set line. Also, you're not laying juice. Like I don't know. I think that wow, it actually moved up to minus 170 just now.
Wow, yeah. So I'm already on this at minus 155. I'm glad.
You already hit it? Okay.
Yeah. I just like I don't know, man. Like Fušović, but I'll give you that. Like I'll give you like Fušović is in like I don't think the 3-set line is terrible. I slightly prefer the Tiafoe.
I don't know how you can bet the straight set line. I just don't agree with that. I just think like he has too many
plus money because it's plus 150. That's the answer. Like I see this being so my take on this match is that Tiafoe wins one set relatively cleanly. Like relatively cleanly is probably one break. And then there's one like super, super tight set. And so like at plus 155, I think I can make an argument for the Tiafoe straight sets.
Okay. Yeah, but
Like he's just, I don't know,
I
man. Like
see I
it's
see a scenario where Fujovic wins the first set, where Tiafoe comes out slow and like just misses a lot of balls. Like Tiafoe has had a lot of like kind of matches where he just not necessarily hasn't showed up, but just like played very lackadaisical tennis. Like that match against Kachin in Madrid was a head scratcher. You know, like Tiafo, anything like straight sets just scares the hell out of me.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you because like he does love to drop sets.
Just for no reason. And it's just like it's trust me, it's frustrating to watch. Like I like Tiafo. It's just ugh.
I just like Fuzbitz does nothing special. He's just a dude.
Yeah, but Fujovic doesn't have to do anything special if Tiafo is showboating and missing balls. He
Yeah,
just
I
needs
guess
to
the
be
question is
there,
like, is that
solid,
enough to
making
get you? Is that
balls.
enough for like, I don't know.
So that's why I like the 3-set line because like I think Tiafo wins this match. Right? But I think there's going to be a lapse there where Fujovic is going to be able to kind of capitalize and take advantage. Also, like Vucevic is prone to playing long matches because he doesn't really do anything special, but he's kind of always mentally there.
But I feel like, and I'm looking at this. Yeah, I guess. Like, so I was looking like this is interesting. Like like his Vucevic's last 15 matches, he's gotten to at least 5 games in one of the sets. So like I do think this is gonna be close.
Mhm.
Like
But
I
he
really think
doesn't.
one set will be close.
But does he often take advantage in those close sets? It feels like he doesn't. Like it feels like he still comes out second, right?
Vucevic, yeah. And like that's the, I mean, that's what it feels like. But I don't know if that the data really backs that up. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like I hear the logic for the 3-set line. I don't think that I don't think it's a terrible bet.
I actually like this match special, Tiafoe to win in over 22.5 games. I actually kind of like that. At plus 210.
The problem is I could see one of these sets being a 6-3 set. I mean, maybe like if Tiafoe serves first, right, with a 1-break set, like, or I could, I don't know, man. Like it's, I
But
don't
like
hate it.
but I feel like if this match goes 3, Tiafoe will wake up.
Well, then go Tiafoe 2-1. The line for Tiafoe 2-1 is going to be way better.
Plus 290, it's not necessarily that much better. I'd actually rather get this because then if it goes to 2 tie breaks, then I win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know that I see this match going 2 tie breaks. I really do think, like, I think Tiafoe just, there's just too much of a gap in terms of like skill. But I don't think this is like like I don't think this is like this isn't like a bet of the day type of bet. Like I think there's a little like a teeny bit of value around Tiafoe, but it's not much.
Okay.
And like I have a hard time betting on the Tiafoe showboating and like clowning around piece because like yeah, it happens, but it's like far from every match. It's not like Bublik where like you can bet that, you know what I mean, where
No.
you can like back it. Like it's a piece with Tiafoe, but like it's not enough, which is what makes me feel like the money line, like it's so conservative and so boring. But like I do think Tiafoe gets through this, you know? I know you're like 155 isn't like a ton of juice. It's juice, but like it's not you only need to win every 3 out of 5 times for it to get there.
Yeah.
I think if they play 5 times, Tiafoe, if they play 10 times, I think Tiafoe wins 7. I actually don't think it's more than 7. Like I don't think this is like a terrific bet by any means, but like I think it's just like, and now at the minus 170, I probably wouldn't take it actually. Like now that it's gone up to 170, I think that's actually too far. Like the 155 I got it at is the right level.
Yeah.
Now I'd probably go to now with the line where it is at now. I'd probably take either one of those specials or the plus 155 on the two sets for TI.
I'd take it at minus 140, but not minus one. Once even 150 is too much. 155.
So you think if they play, Fusevitz wins more than 4 out of 10 times? If they play 100 times, you think Fusevitz wins more than 40?
I think he wins 4 out of 10.
Which is minus 150.
Yeah, okay, but I need to be confident that he would win more than 4 to take that.
Yeah.
Right? So I like that Tiafo and over 22.5. Like I think I'm gonna do that as like a maybe half a unit play or something. I do like that.
Right.
So all right. Interesting conversation there.
Yeah, we got both sides of that one.
Yeah, we do. We do. Yeah. So I have the 3-set line and the Tiafo to win in over 22.5. And what are you?
I've got the Tiafo money line. Well, actually, I have the minus 155. I wouldn't hit the minus 170.
Okay.
But I do. But I would also put half a unit on the Tiafo in straight sets at plus 155.
Okay.
I don't think it's more than 50% likely, by the way, but I think like plus 155 is just enough value to give you that.
Okay. So you're very pro Tiafo there.
I am. Like,
see, I don't think that there's so much of a gap because like I like Tiafo chooses to play a lot of flashy shots, right? Which makes him seem better than he is. He loves to like hit that drop shot and kind of, you know, he has a flashy game, right? Vucevic doesn't have a flashy game, but he doesn't choose to hit those shots. And a lot of times, like, Tiafo hits those shots at the wrong moment. And I think Vucevic is the kind of guy that's going to capitalize on that. I don't know. I have these guys played before?
Yeah, it's 2-1. I think it's 2-1 Vucevic.
Really?
But Vucevic's wins Vucevic won in 18, so it's hard to count that. Okay. And they split matches in 2020. It's like I don't really think the head-to-head is too meaningful here.
Were those matches lopsided or?
Tiafo won 2, 3, and 2 at the U.S. Open.
Okay.
And Vucevic won in 3 sets at Doha. And 6 and 4 in Geneva on clay at altitude. But like, I don't know, man.
Okay.
Tiafo's serve is better. That plays in his favor.
Yeah, but he doesn't necessarily get a high percentage of first serves in. What was his first serve percentage against Musetti today?
Good question. I have the stats from that matchup. Do I? Maybe I don't anymore.
I have it up here, actually.
58%, so not great today.
Not great. Won 78% of his first serve points, but only 46% of his second serve points.
And that's one match, right? Like Musetti's actually like I'm not that surprised by that stat.
Yeah. And then Vucevic today.
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess like he's got. I would take Tiafo's serve. It's not amazing, right? Nobody's confusing with QB Hurkacz, but like it's an above average serve.
Yeah,
it's better than Vucevic's serve.
Yeah. Although Vucevic serve 58%, 184%. But also, I mean, Fritz is in below average returner as well.
I don't know. Fritz has made progress there. We can talk about Fritz another time, but like it's I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think like I'm not like going. I'm not going to die on the hill for Tiafo here. I think there's a tiny bit of value there. It's not my most confident.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's like a half unit play or something. It's nothing exciting.
Okay. Fair.
All right, moving on to Struff and Hurkacz.
Yes.
This is a fun one because what?
This is the match of the day. I'm super.
This is the popcorn match of the day.
Yeah. So my play here is Struff money line plus 120.
This is hilarious because, like, statistically,
yeah,
it makes a ton of sense.
Okay.
Struff is at home.
Okay.
Um, Struff has played a lot better recently.
Mm-hmm. Altitude, a little bit of altitude in Stuttgart.
But why does that, I mean, that doesn't, I think both guys played big enough. Like, I actually don't necessarily agree that helps Struff.
No, I think Struff plays bigger though.
On the
Right?
serve?
Like from the ground, Struff has the edge.
Yeah, but the altitude also means more balls can sail, which can be bad for Struff. Struff can be a little error prone. So
Okay,
this
if
is
you
the
want to
funny
think.
thing is like statistically, Manny, and like data wise, I think you're right to hit the Struff money line here. But I don't like this matchup for Struff. So I'm gonna do what one must do with Hubie and hit the over.
I don't. I mean, how can I argue with that play, right? And also, this over has gone down.
Yeah.
Like I remember a couple
And I
hours
saw,
ago
and
when
I
I
actually
checked
saw, I
last.
think Bovada, the alternate over under here is 23.5 at the same price. Yeah. So the actual over under is 23.5, not 24.
That's amazing.
You know what? This one I'm going to give Bovada a break on, though, because the only realistic score that's 24 where it actually would matter is 7-5, 7-5. Like, that's literally the only way you can get to 24 where going 24 versus 23.5 would matter. So they're basically the same thing.
Well,
But,
so this line, so I've looked on other books and I've seen 25s, I've seen 25 and a halves,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
I've seen
Bovada's cutting you a
and
break
now
here.
it's gone down to 24. So I'm actually surprised by that because like
Or
at
23.5, but yeah.
at 24, I'm definitely hitting it.
Yeah.
If it's 25 or 25 and a half, I don't think I'm hitting that.
I agree.
But
I also
24,
really
I
like
think
the
is a
first set
no-brainer.
over of 10 at minus 135 here. Because like 6-4 is a push. Like, Manny, is this ever worse than 6-3? Is either of these guys ever breaking the other one multiple times in a set?
No, it's never worse than 6-3. I agree.
So like your only risk here is 6-3. I don't really like so I love the over 10 here. Like I think there's a lot like I don't know what makes you say that like again it's a Hubie match, right? So we'll start with that. And like is he like how is Hubie gonna break Struff and how is Struff gonna break Hubie?
It's going to be tough, which is why I think one of my favorite lines in this match is the over 1.5 tie breaks.
That's my play here also. Well, but see, I don't like it anymore.
See,
I liked it a lot better when if the price was higher, but that's not a great price.
It's not a great price. I got it at plus 410.
Yeah, that I would have. Yeah, that's the right price for that line. I didn't see it. I missed it. Like I was looking for it. It wasn't up yet by the time I got to it. Like I saw this match before the specials were up. By the time I saw it with the specials up, it was already bet down. But
and I was hoping to get like 10-1 on the match to go to the final set tiebreak. It's only plus 450. That's a joke.
Yeah, because this is so close. Like this match is like I don't like the money line either way. I do think like because I think it's a slightly better matchup for Hubie. Because I do think like I could see Struff like missing a bunch of balls in a game and handing Hubie a break.
He's been pretty focused this week. I don't know.
It's not a matter of focus; it's a matter of just missing, right? Like Struff plays a big game. He plays a more error-prone game. Like it wouldn't be like mental misses. It would just be like it would be Hubie pushes enough balls back, not to like consistently win points, but to like just get lucky and get one break. And I think Hubie pushing balls back at altitude is better than I'd rather have that than the match being out of Struff's hands. It's
I don't
ironic because
necessarily agree with that. I actually think Struff has a better chance of getting the break because like I think he's going to be more aggressive. I don't think pushing the ball back is a good strategy to get a break. Especially with Struff.
I didn't get one break, it is. I didn't get multiple breaks, it's not, but I didn't get one break. And he's just hoping Struff makes a couple of mistakes long. Like that's you know what I mean? Like that's the
he's got to hope for a bunch of second serves. Like Struff has to miss 4 first serves in the game.
I mean that's probably going to happen at some point. Again, like I don't think I'm not saying either of these guys is getting into the other guy's service completely consistently.
Okay, but
at
even
all.
then, it's like a 50-50. Maybe a 60-40 for the server still.
What'd you say?
Like,
Oh, a second serve point. Yeah,
even if
I agree.
Struth makes,
I don't think it's gonna be. Yeah, look, like that's why I think the over is the play here. Like I think this match is gonna be.
I agree with you.
Like
I was surprised to see 24 here. Like I thought it was 25.
I think this should be 25. I think it's a whole game and a half low.
I agree.
And like I said, I'd hit the 23 and a half, not the 24, because it's the same exact price.
Good point. Good point. Good point. There we go.
I mean, you may as well take the 7.5, right? If it's being offered to you.
Right. Right. Rather win than push, right? So
yeah.
I mean,
the overs, the game over unders for both guys are disgusting.
Agreed.
Like over 13 at minus 120 is insane. Like
it's
and I think it's the right line. Like I think actually over 13 might be the right play there. Like I'm never hitting under 13 at minus 110.
Right.
But at that point, like you just take the over on the match.
Just
like,
take the over on the match. Right. Exactly.
Like if he's going over, like honestly, it's kind of silly. This is actually really, really silly. Because how would Hubie get over 13 and the match not go over 23 and a half?
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. Because like if you win 7 twice in a set, it's 7-5, 7-5, and you win.
It's 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes no sense. But what about Struth and Hurkacz to win their first 2 service games to Lover 15 at plus 210 and plus 190?
I'm trying to, you know what, honestly, like let me do some like math on it here. Because this is where you pull out your math book.
Okay.
The price isn't good enough. Like I think in a given service game for either of these guys, about 50-50 that you get that. Like it's really hard to hold to Lover 15. Like even on grass, usually guys are winning 1 out of every 3 to 4 points.
Okay. All right.
On return. Like
do you feel like the grass speeds up or speeds up or slows down as the tournament goes on and there's more like wear and tear on the court?
Well, so the wear and tear is all at the baseline, right? There's no wear and tear at the net anymore. There used to be, but there's not anymore. So like it's a little less relevant in terms of helping. Like it probably helps more guys who like. Honestly, it probably helps a guy more like a Demonor, who's like able to like respond, like who's like quicker and able to like not hitting big and able to like respond to like slightly different bounces.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably hurts the guy who's trying to hit big, but like I think it's like a factor, but I don't think it necessarily helps or hurts a given player. It just like adds more randomness.
Okay. All right.
If anything, like it makes me like overs more. What do you think about what is the 3 set line here?
I don't think it's very good. Plus 125.
That's not terrible though. Like it's terrible like compared to most matches, but like I mean this match is so damn close to a coin flip.
What about tiebreak in the first set at plus 160?
I just prefer taking the over 10. Actually the over 10 is that's why I like the over 10 because like I think there's a lot of like I think that tiebreak comes in a lot, but like the over 10 is just so much more safe. You win at 7-5 and you push at 6-4.
You're just laying juice, though.
Yeah, it's a matter of how aggressive you want to be. But I don't need the tiebreak.
I prefer the over.
There's a lot of tiebreaks coming here. What?
I prefer the over 23.5 because then you also can rely on the second set to go to the tiebreak as well. You know,
well, no, you can't actually. Like you need in order for the 20, like in order for 23.5 to hit, you need 3 sets or you need 2 7-5 sets.
It's true. Yeah, if you get a 6-4 in the first set, then you need 3 sets. There's no other way
Yeah.
to hit. Yeah. I just don't like the juice. Like if it was even minus 115 or minus 120, I'd take the over 10, but just 135 because like I don't like relying on a guy to, like one guy to serve first.
I just
Like
don't. I like.
you don't think it
I hear
matters?
you, but like, is either like getting broken the first 4 games coming out? Like it could happen, right? Like anybody can get broken at any time. Like I just don't like. Man, like I don't like. Yeah, you could get 6-3 here and get hooked, but like it just it feels like this match just feels like it's man, it feels like it's a bunch of like it feels like I like the tie breaks. I kind of like I like the one tie break play or the first set tie break play way better than the two plus tie breaks.
Do they have over 1.5 tie breaks here?
Well, that's what it was. That was the two
Okay.
plus tie breaks, the 325.
Oh, it's minus 225 for one tie break.
Yeah.
That's a lot of juice.
Oh, that's way too much juice. Like at minus 175, I was considering it. I didn't hit it just because I was like, this would be kind of a lame one. Like, I think the over, like, personally, I think the over is a great way to play this match. And that's my play here. And that's like my
Yeah.
official, I think I have enough confidence in that to make it an official GBM play.
I think that might be our GBM play. We still have 2 more matches to talk about, but okay, let's stick with that. I got the 2 plus tie breaks at plus 410, so I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
A different book, but
Are you still sitting on the Struth money line?
I am. So I have 3 plays here: Struth money line, the over 23.5, which you talked me into, and then the 2 plus tie breaks in the match.
Yeah.
So
I'm just sticking with the over, and that's my only play here. I think the money line here is pretty well set, but
good.
like it's weird in the fact that like the only thing I come up with is like the narrative and the and like the style matchup. I think being a little better for Hubie, but like it's not. It's
So if you had the lean
I would
winner,
never hit the Hubie money line because like Struth is definitely playing the better tennis right now.
yeah, true. So if you had the lean money line, you'd go with Hubie.
Oh no, if I had to lean on the money line with where it's at, I'd go with Struth. If I had to lean, but I think the money line's pretty well set.
Okay.
I think there's probably some like I think it should actually be like I think it should be like
Pick them.
no, I think it should be like plus minus 140 plus 115 or something.
Okay, so
Like
very close. See, I think it should be pick 'em
okay.
with actually maybe a slight edge to even Struth.
Yeah, look, it's hard to argue with it because Struth is playing the better tennis recently.
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt about that. I can't like
Yeah.
I think that the matchup slightly favors Hubie.
Okay. All right, and then let's go to Den Bosch in
Yep.
Holland. So the Thompson Hijikata match. Thompson is a 3-game favorite, minus 225 for Thompson, plus 185 for Rinky, and the over/under is 22.5. I have a very tough time picking a line in this match. I picked the +3 for Rinky. Just because like I like laying games on grass. I just feel like it's a
You like
good
taking
play.
games, you mean?
Yeah, taking games, right? Not laying games, taking games. But I'm curious to see what your take is on this.
I've got no take. If I was the book, my line would be Thompson -3. My money line would be Thompson minus 220 and Rinky plus 180.
Wow.
And my over-under would be 22.5. Probably like minus 115 for both instead of minus 110, minus 120. But like,
okay. But that close?
yeah, I mean, like when I was thinking what should the line be here, like that's what I came up with. So it was just like, yeah, and it's like it's
okay.
Yeah, for me it's like this, like the book just has this perfectly. And like I went through everything, man, here. Like the one play I think is interesting here. Maybe if you're looking for something fun and you really want to play this match, Rinky's come back from a set down in all 3 matches this tournament. That line is 9-1. Or at least when I saw it before, it was 9-1 you're getting on Rinky coming back from a set down.
Ooh. Interesting take.
I don't think I'm going to hit it, but like if you were going to hit it, I think that's the way.
Okay.
Like Thompson's the better player. He just is.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that scares me about taking 3 games with Rinky here is like he hasn't done it yet this turn, but he's not like a big power guy. So I think it leaves him like
But neither is
susceptible.
Thompson. So they're gonna be. I feel like they're gonna be breaks in this match. Wait.
I think Thompson's got a better serve than Rinky, though.
Slightly. Like the way I kind of think this match is gonna go, like I think it's gonna be close, but both guys are gonna get some breaks. Which is
I think the line is perfectly set. Like I think the line is perfectly set. Like I think that like yeah, like I think the line like I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. Like 3 games isn't a blowout.
Mhm.
But I think Thompson is like 1 to 2 breaks better. And that's 3 games, right? A break is usually 2 to 3 games.
Okay.
So like it's you know.
I actually trust Rinky mentally more than Thompson in a weird way.
I trust his battling a little more, maybe, but like I don't think Thompson doesn't battle. He just whines. But like I don't think it impacts his tennis time, but he just like whines. He's like
Whines.
annoying. He's annoying, but I don't think it like impacts his tennis. It's just annoying to watch.
Okay. All right, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's just I just don't like him.
But I think you're betting Rinky here because you just don't like Thompson.
It's possible. It's definitely not it's definitely not our GBM play of the day for sure.
Yeah.
I'm actually considering the Rinky to lose the first set and win the match. That's very, very enticing. I'm glad you pointed that out to me. It's 9-1. I mean, it's pretty good.
And like Thompson's not that great or that much better.
No,
like,
he's not. He doesn't really do anything special.
The problem is you just need 3, like because it's a best of 3, you need all 3 sets to go the exact way, right? Like you need Rinky to lose, win. It's like it's such a specific game script.
Yeah, but he's done that. What the first 2 matches? 3 matches of the tournament.
Yeah.
But that being said, that might he might be slightly out of gas, right?
And he came through qualies, right? I mean, he actually lost in the qualies to Berankis, in straight sets, which is, but yeah, like, but you're getting 9-1. Like, it's kind of.
I haven't backed Rinky all
it, but
tournament
it's like,
long, and I've been paying the price. Like Tidbits Tennis actually has been backing him, and he's been successful. And it's like because he lost in qualifying doesn't mean that he's like a scrub, like.
He lost to Berankis.
Play on the surface.
He lost to Berankis.
I know. Berankis
is but I agree with you. I don't think it's like. I mean, I think Rinky is a scrub. Like, I think everything about Rinky says, like, compared to other ATP Tour pros, he's a scrub. But like, Thompson's not amazing either.
No,
like the gap isn't like the gap's not massive here, but like. I think the books have this one perfect. Like I said, like Rinky at 9-1 could be kind of a fun play though.
But you would rather if you were playing the just a spread in here, you would rather play Rinky plus 3 than Thompson -3, right?
I don't know, man. Like, so there actually is a semi-relevant head-to-head here. Okay. They played twice. And I know they played in, I think, Subaton or Suberon or whatever they call it.
Okay, last week.
Yeah, and it was and Thompson won 7-6-6-2. And then they played on indoor in South Korea, Gwangju, which is a fast court. I think it's a fast court. Yeah, most of those Korean courts are fast.
Right.
And that was 4-4 to Jordan Thompson. So like the head-to-head here says Thompson slightly. I think this is the right spread. I'm not hitting. I mean, I think this is the right spread, but like, you're hard pressed to convince me that Rinky, you'd want to back Rinky here in any way other than like the fun like 9-1 shot at like an LWW just because of like he's done it the past 3 matches.
Okay, yeah, but the fact that he's done the past 3 matches may actually make me want to not do that because like he might be fatigued. Like that takes a lot of energy to get that done. So
yeah, but they haven't been that long. I don't think it's been a lot of long sets for Rinky. It's been pretty short sets for the most part.
All right, I'm just gonna stick with my +3. I got it +3.5, not +3. So I'm gonna stick with that. But
I don't hate it at +3.5. I don't like it at plus. I mean, I don't like. I'm not. I wouldn't take it at +3.5, but I don't hate it. Like I think
plus
it's. I think they're
three is
like.
probably the appropriate line. I think +3.5 is like half a game in favor of Rinky, and I think I
Well,
got.
you're juiced, right? It's what juice are you laying at 3.5?
Oh, good question. Let me see. I got it at yeah, -105.
Or you have
Well, I
plus
got
three
plus,
minus
plus
105.
three at -105. I thought I got +3.5, but I
Like
got
if he was +3, like I think you're like. It's not terrible. Like I think it's slightly bad. Like if it was -3 at +105, I'd probably take it. But like I don't think it's like terrible.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
I
it's
thought it was 3.5, but it's actually 3. But not juiced.
yeah.
So
It's not horrendous.
okay, we'll see. I
Um
mean, I'm rooting for Rinky. So
I mean look, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's an entertainment bet. Like, I think like with that kind of bet, you're losing like your 0.05 units or something consistently, like over the long term. And like maybe it's worth losing the 0.05 units just to have fun watching Rinky. Like Rinky is
yeah,
kind of fun to watch.
he is fun to watch. He is fun to watch. Yeah.
It's
All
got a
right,
fun
let's move
name
on
too.
to probably the second best match. I honestly think this is the final. Like I think whoever wins this match wins, beats whoever makes the other.
I
So
think they're the favorite in the final, right? Whoever wins is the favorite.
yeah,
I'm not going to say
yeah,
that
they
they're
could
going to
lose
win,
to.
but they're the favorite.
Yeah. Greeks born Rusevori here. So actually no spreads are up for some reason.
I know I haven't seen a spread here either, but I like the Greeksport money line here.
The what money line?
Greeksport.
+135.
Yeah.
I don't like the Rusevori money line. I like the Rusevori over 12.5 here. I got it on a different book here at -135. It's slightly juiced, but I think that that's the most likely outcome. I I just think Rusevori is a slightly better ball striker, slightly better mover. And I think these guys are similar. I just think that Rusevori does everything at a slightly higher level.
I think these guys are similar. I disagree with your take. I think like
Hmm.
I think Rusevori's ceiling is slightly better on a given day, but I think his floor is a little lower. But like these guys are, I agree with you. Think these guys are pretty
Very
similar. I think these
similar.
guys are like I think these guys are more or even closer in level than you do. Like I think this is like a pure coin flip. And like any advantage that Rusevori has is offset by Greeksport being at home.
Interesting. Okay.
So I think I think this is
You think
basically a
it's
coin flip
that
match where you're
close?
getting
I
plus
think
money.
Rusevori, I also think he has a slight edge in the movement department.
Slight,
No?
slight. I think on a neutral court, the appropriate line here is like -120 even money,
Okay.
-130 +110. Like I think there's a tiny edge to Rusevori. Um, but I think given that it's at home, I think this is pretty darn close to a flip.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think the match is close. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I just think Rusevori has a slight edge. Like I just think I don't know. I take that view that win versus Sinner. I view it quite highly. Like I think like he's playing at a quite high level right now. I also think like the quality of his wins have been good. Just but even like not looking at the center match, like he beat Umber here, Nakashima. Like those are 3 really good
I
wins.
don't know, man. If you want to talk quality of wins, Greek Sport has Popperin and Demonor here.
Okay, I like the Demonor win. I the Popperin win. Okay.
On grass against Popperin serve in big game. 3-2.
Okay.
Like I said, I think there's like I'm surprised to see this much of a spread. Like I think this is at least 50 cents off.
So you put this at like a pure pick'em pretty much?
Yeah, I think with Greek Sport being at home, I think this is a pure pick 'em.
Okay. How about like over unders here? Like you think that the reset line is interesting here at plus 125?
No, because like Rusevori is just like both these guys are capable of playing some really bad tennis.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like I
Yeah.
think the only play here, I honestly think the only play here is the Greek Sport money line play, and it's like it's not amazing. It's my second favorite play of the day. It's not amazing. My play of the day is definitely like my favorite play of the day by far is the Hebe Stroof over.
You don't like the Rusevori over 12 and a half? I feel like you don't
No,
like
because
any
like
Rusevori's overs, right? Like you feel
just
like
generally he's just so capable of like just playing, and he hasn't done it lately, but he's so capable of just playing a completely shit match.
Greek sport is too.
Greek Sport is too, which kills the over 12 and a half as well, right? Like either one of these guys could win 3-2.
Good point. Yeah.
But both of them are capable of great shot making and great tennis. And
Right.
it could so it could be 4-3, like with one guy just playing amazing tennis. Like, but it also could be three. Like this match can go a lot of different ways. Like in this match, I mean, this match in terms of the game script is really hard to call.
Okay.
Which again brings me back to the Greek Sport money line. Because I think like it's just because it's plus money. Like I don't I don't think it's like I don't think Greek Sport is like a terrific I don't think it's not like he's gonna win. Like I think it's like pretty darn close to 50-50. And you're getting pretty good plus money
Yeah,
there.
see, I think Rusevori should be I think it's slightly too much towards Rusevori here, but I think he should be like minus 140 is my
Okay.
take. And Greek sport minus plus 115 or 120.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where I think it should be. Um I don't know. I just like the way Rusevori is playing right now. I just think he's playing quite well. But all right. So what do you make? I think it's pretty clear what our game bet match play of the day is going to be.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the Hubie Stroof over
The
23.
Hubie over button.
The Hubie over button. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll be our play of the day. Hubert Hurkacz and Jan-Lennard Struff over 23.5 on Bovada. We do understand that a lot of other books have this at different totals. I don't think it's worth it if you're playing it at 24 and a half, 25, 25 and a half at like
24 and a half. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, like I don't like it. I mean, the thing is like once you get above 24, once you get above 23, there's such specific scores. It's like 7-6, 7-5, like or 7, you know what I mean? Like that's what you're losing is like 7-6, 7-5, and like that's such a specific score, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like 7-6, 7-6 is actually less specific in a sense, then you're just betting that nobody can break.
Mm-hmm.
Like 7-6, 7-5, you're betting on one break and the guy breaks at 5-all. Like that's what you're losing. Like, so I think like honestly, like as long like I don't know if I would do this at over 25, but like man, like I think this is I think this is I think this is good. I think I think
Okay.
the 24, 23 and a half. It's
It's
even at
great.
24 and a half, I think it's okay. 25, I start to get worried.
Yeah. 23 and a half is beautiful for this match. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So
Because even if you like, even if you do get a 6-4 first set or a 6-3 first set, like the other guy like can't come back and win the second. Like this could go 3 like often enough.
oh yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Any takeaways from challengers? Have you seen any challenger tennis?
I mean, I barely have time to watch ATP tennis, let alone challenger tennis. Like,
I mean, I've been
but I know there's a
working.
pretty good challenger going on this weekend.
There have. So like Murray is playing in Nottingham. He actually played Stricker today in a 7
Why
6.
is Murray playing Nottingham?
I think he wants to get matches. Like he doesn't want to lose early, and I think he's
Yeah.
just like he just loves playing the game. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's strange, but yeah. I mean, I
Like I
actually
want to get matches. That would be the reasoning. Is a slightly easier draw so we can get matches. That would be the answer. Either matches or confidence. But it's just hard to
yeah. It's just hard to back him because like he's playing, Stricker and still going 6 and 5, like
Yeah.
he's not winning easily. Yeah, I mean, we got the return of Kei Nishikori in Puerto Rico this week.
I didn't even see that. That's news.
Yeah. Yeah, he won today. I think he's in the semis. We got the rise of Michael Zhang, who's a New Jersey.
I did see that. There's been a little bit of hype around him.
There has, yeah. I mean, considering my brother beat him in his first tournament 6-2, 6-1 when they were 10 years old. It's pretty, I guess that's the only, I mean, that's a takeaway for me, but not for the betting public.
Yeah. You would bet on your brother? How
Huh?
many games would your brother be laying right now in that match?
He'd probably be laying 10 games. No, Michael Zhang would be laying 10 against my brother, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. My brother is about a UTR 11, I would say. 11.
Okay.
11 and a half. Michael Zhang's probably like, what, 14?
Yeah.
I would say. 14, 14 and a
Maybe
half.
your brother could hold serve once or twice.
Maybe. But yeah, he'd be laying quite a few games, Michael Zhang. So, but it's impressive. I mean, I don't think their parents have the time to listen to 3-hour podcasts, but
well, tonight we only went 2 hours, so
2 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
anyways, on that note, we're probably time to wrap it up.
Definitely.
But thanks again, everyone, for all the commentary, for all the talk on Twitter. Good stuff, fun stuff. Yeah, it's definitely. I saw a bunch of requests for people to look at the spreadsheet, so I'm giving anybody who wants to see our spreadsheet can get viewer access.
Nice.
We've been really bad at updating it. I will start catching up this weekend. I made a promise myself I'll do like a week this weekend.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, enjoy the semifinals, and we'll see you at the beginning of next week to preview Halle and Queens. So
yeah, exciting times, guys.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, guys. See ya.
Everyone.